Bonjour ou bonsoir, mes salutations. The Outer Worlds 2. Je dois infiltrer cette base là, pour trouver de quoi réparer et donner de l'espoir, j'espère faussement de l'espoir au chef de Westport. J'ai oublié son nom.
Outsider.
Bon, apparemment le chef de cette base là, c'est un dur. On va bien voir. On va réussir à l'entourlouper. Alors ici par contre c'est bien marqué voler, hein.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it. Outsider. Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Anyway, if you have hands and a will to lend them, I won't turn away help. This gas leak of ours has proven inexhaustible, patient, and insidious. Uranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. What happens to any member of the Protectorate who falls short of fulfilling their lifelong oaths of service? Execution for the unworthy, and mental refreshment for the salvageable and the stalwart. Dereliction of duty is a heavy offense, and no lesser sentence will fit the crime. I hold myself to the highest standard, but this uranium leak, it threatens all that I hold dear. Speak with Delphinia Bryant. She needs all the support she can get, and I'll spare no resources on this particular problem. Her invention, once operational, will provide you a shield from the worst of the Zeranium. Her workshop is just past our clinic. Once you have the shield, see me about the leak. I'll give you all the details. What else would disrupt the harmony of our perfect system? Auntie's choice, of course. A chance shot hit the wrong pipe early into their assault. Zoranium wreaks havoc on automechanicals. Every combat-ready mech in the repair hangar was overcharged and beset with behavioral problems. Further damage soon occurred. Had I the resources, I would have sent wave after wave of engineers into the facility until one of them flipped the correct switch. Alas, the tragedy unfolded before my time here, and resources were slim. This facility's purpose is the maintenance of automechanicals. When the war kicked off, it became a military asset, and I am its second steward. The old staff should have laid down their lives to repel Auntie's choice. For their failure of loyalty and grit, they were punished, and rightly so. Now, their burden is mine, but I won't allow my unit to suffer the same fate. See our acting quartermaster, Hazel. She'll know where the parts are and attend to the transaction. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I need that gas leak fixed. Otherwise, my automechs might as well be paperweights. While I trust that Brigadier Montelli has everything well in hand, that assurance does not alleviate the grim tidings felt in the pit of my bowels. Loyalty and instinct run hand in hand. I'm a protectorate man, after all. So why should I be ill at ease, despite our stalwart chain of command and dependable kin at the helm? No matter. My unease is nothing when measured against the strength of the Protectorate.
Bah, il dit rien, lui. Il y avait au moins l'autre, là, le pote de... J'ai oublié son nom, le compagnon à Bara, qui disait quelque chose quand on a regardé sur son ordinateur. Bon, il m'arrête pas. Alors, si je pouvais saborder en plus cet endroit, c'est-à-dire c'est quand même un endroit de soutien à la station Vox où je veux aller. Si je pouvais récupérer les machines d'Automeca, le truc pour auprès de la scientifique Bryant pour être protégé du ziranium, et après tout faire péter là-dedans, je sais pas. Il y a une possibilité, ça serait pas mal.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of uranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. Hazel should get you sorted right quick, assuming she has the parts. She's right between the barracks and the main gate. Can't miss her. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. I'd say it's guaranteed. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
Outsider?
First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
familiar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. Passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. When the attack unfolded, I was fixing the automechanicals who laid down their gears in our defense. Our leaders failed to do the same, which makes them more cowardly than an automech. I did my part to uphold the Protectorate. Can they say the same? Now what'll it be? You'd think that a fully stocked automechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. You're not implying the quartermech is somehow responsible, are you? I'd hate for the big guy to get in trouble. Well, at least you're honest. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for. Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. Delphinia? No. I doubt she stole what I would have given her freely. Best of luck in your search. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. This unit is incapable of misplacement. All transported goods are relocated in accordance with this unit's given directives.
Well, it was worth a shot.
May this unit be of further assistance? All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable. Request not understood.
It only understands the words I've added to its databanks. You wouldn't believe how many words there are for buying and selling. Guess I missed peruse. Look, for now, just use the phrase initiate commerce. It's what I used during the initial testing.
Initiating commerce.
See you soon, I hope.
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Zeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Stay true, outsider.
Outsider?
Yes. Let's have a look at you.
no signs of Zeranium exposure. Or anything else novel or interesting, apparently. Another humdrum workaday ailment, no doubt. Nothing requiring my vast expertise, surely. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Zeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Zeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined zeranium is used to power nearly all major Protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause zeranium crystals to explode. Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the zeranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from zeranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard. Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with?
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Now that you mention it, there was one particularly insistent little mech who kept trying to put all manner of bric-a-brac in here. After several firm remonstrations, I told it the interior of this building is off limits while I am working here. Didn't see that peculiar little scamp again after that. Quite busy, as I said, and less pleased for this unscheduled work suspension. Now, did you have some business here? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. A number of factors. Zeranium is dangerous, and we wouldn't want a researcher falling victim to their subject of study. The scarcity of volunteers is also a problem. Everyone wants to fix the gas leak, but no one wants to step inside a hazardous vapor. Now tell me, are you familiar with zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Yes, quite right. And let me tell you, it was astoundingly difficult to dial in the resonance. Luckily, the difficult work is behind us. There are only a smattering of ancillary details still to be hashed out. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Welcome. Glad to have you back. All right, I admit it. The quartermech still needs work, but perfection requires iteration, as the Marshal says. While he's under construction, come to me for any supplies you might need. Glad to hear it. Any progress? Interesting. But what connection do you perceive between this behavior and the disappearance of the supplies? I believe we have our answer. Check the roof of Delphinia's lab. I'll wager that's where you'll find the missing supplies. Don't be a stranger.
The enemy.
Oups.
Howdy there. Eureka! I knew it. In retrospect, the problem is glaringly obvious. The quartermech couldn't figure out where to stack boxes on the x-axis, so it defaulted to the y-axis. I'll have that tinkered on shortly. And you're welcome to keep the automech parts, of course. Thanks for solving my little mystery. Glad to oblige.
Commander? I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
Mais comment je fais pour prélever?
Auntie's choice and the Protectorate got a difference in opinion. The Protectorate believe they can't be bloodied. We think otherwise. Got something that needs doing, Commander? If you say so. Try not to get into too much trouble without me.
Je vais pouvoir cliquer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Catalytic amplifiers are a somewhat outdated technology, available only in older model Dragoons. Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to Geld his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. The only other source at hand would be the invaders, and I'm afraid I'm not intimately familiar with most of their technology, especially that organic filth they cherish so much. In fact, the only equipment of theirs that I'm passingly familiar with is their holographic systems, which... Hold on. Yes, that could work! Holographic emitters are essentially low-yield field modulators, so in a pinch, one could be used in place of a catalytic amplifier. Quite right. We'll need one of sufficient power and adaptability. Look for an emitter attached to the largest, most ostentatious display you can find. That should suit our needs well enough. That insidious light pollution emanating from Fairfield comes to mind, specifically those tall buildings in the town square. Now, will there be anything else? Until a more convenient date and time.
Bon, bah voilà qui va être marrant. Donc, je vais faire un peu de déception en secret, j'espère. Contre Onshi's Choice. Je vais aller piquer le truc holographique là-bas, à Fairfield. Je vais remettre le truc de réparateur des automécas à Westport, qui va jouer contre Fairfield. Mais j'espère pouvoir quand même forcer Westport à se rendre à Haunted Choice. Bref, j'espère jouer sur les plusieurs tableaux. Je voulais descendre. Ça donne pas ce que je voulais. Moi je voulais descendre. Qui que t'es toi?
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Well, I speak of the Crabbles, of course. You must have spied those nefarious Crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army. You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble!
J'hésite. Est-ce que je fais auprès de lui ou est-ce que je pique le... Ah, je vais piquer l'holo. Allez, je vais piquer l'holographe. On va bien voir. Ah, il fait nuit, tant mieux, je préfère ça. Peut-être que je vais réussir à pas me faire choper au moment où je vais piquer l'holographe. Enfin, le générateur d'holo.
Hell. this post so many times I can do it less. Give Auntie.
Bon, bah voilà, c'est fait. Mais alors, c'est ce que je craignais. Enfin, bah, je m'en serais douté.
A simple malfunction, perhaps.
An outrage is what I call it. That hologram was our flag planted in the soil of conquered lands.
And that's a good thing.
That symbol is our pride, our identity. How can you wage a war if you don't even have a logo?
Oui, c'est scandaleux. Mais qu'est-ce qui s'est passé là? Non, c'est une panne. Allez tout de suite prévenir Auntie, hein, les gars. Les filles, plutôt. Là, voilà, ni vu ni connu. Bon, c'est dommage, maintenant il n'y a plus Lolo. Grave.
Heard some troop in second unit fell into one of the rifts.
Merciful law, what a horrible fate. You couldn't pay me enough to patrol near those things. I mean, you could, but it would have to be a lot.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us.
Oh, great. A 472. Been a while since I had to dodge bullet spray.